Right, recording. So, hi you guys, good morning and welcome to my channel. I'm back with a new video and we're gonna check out a video called The Female Andrew Tate, Pearl Davis on why she thinks women shouldn't vote. We'll see what they're talking about. If this title is clickbaitish, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I just gotta laugh at it, you guys.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Pearl Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so that your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint.
Okay, well, Pearl joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she heard.
I'm not sure though.
Right, Pearl, you would be called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. You know, I'm a fan of Andrew Tate.
Of everything he said?
She's so happy.
It depends what we're talking about, but overall, I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young men.
Okay, look, you're talking about women predominantly, which is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself, the right to vote?
Well, what happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, like, why would women not? No, it's true. It's true. You look it up.
At the time.
At the time.
Because they've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
I mean, that's what they say. But, you know, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. You know, before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were married. And, you know, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
But what's that got to do with them having the vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is essentially the draft.
Okay, but specifically on the vote, what would having
she's
the right?
saying, like, it's women dominating areas and male dominating areas. Like, what is she talking about? What kind of argument is that?
Have to do with family cohesion, for example.
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have 2 votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped about
do you know what it's sort of
I know.
It's just sort of a bit
The thing is, in some places in the world, it is like that. Like, I have family members who live in countries where women don't have barely, like, no rights over their own lives and what they do. It's the man that controls everything. So it is like that in some places in the world, and it's typical that women like her, she is very privileged that say things like this, just that she can even talk here, and she don't understand what kind of freedom she has, and she's taking it for granted by saying things like this.
I feel like, you know, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
They just kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
allegedly?
The time, well,
what do you mean allegedly?
At the time that you're talking about, you know, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they
so
were. That's incorrect. The first female
property
owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work and couldn't.
I'm so sorry, but that would be inherited property.
The first
She lived in her own bubble.
Millionaire was in the late 1800s.
Because she seemed to be she coming from a background of very privileged people. So maybe she only knows her own family tree and that area where she is from. But like, the world doesn't look like what she's talking about.
Was that inherited?
No, it wasn't. It was self-made. Yes, it was.
Self-made.
Yes, it
and
was.
She never inherited land.
Yes, she did not
and what
inherit
law permitted that?
What?
What law permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential in history.
Let's get on to the vote. So what I don't understand is, you know, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
You know, your big push is that you care about men and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
well, I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't made the point yet. Okay. Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. How is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again, men do all of the
feminists are
well,
saying.
then okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society. They're open, they're hiring because
What kind of argument is that? Like I said before, it's women-dominated fields and male-dominated fields. Like, she only focusing on one aspect. Like, it's very strange.
Are equal until we do the equal work. So no, listen. Go apply to be on the oil rigs. Go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be on the front lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, but I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely not. You said you were
wow.
You said you were a volleyball player, and so you've got more strength than I do. I don't think
but
I
don't have more strength. I don't have more strength.
She looks strong.
I don't have more strength than the average man, but again, it goes back to go be a plumber. You want to be equal, go be equal.
You want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because I don't think what we have today is
some
really
countries
marriage.
women cannot
what is marriage?
get
It's
a
for better or
divorce.
for worse, for richer or
She
for
need a
poor,
man.
in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have...
The thing is, I'm coming from a very secular place in the world. Like, I'm from Europe and Scandinavia and Sweden. So she are just talking about, I don't know, it sounds very absurd to me with her arguments. Like, to death do us. She's talking about marriage and stuff like that. And I'm guessing that she's religious too, and that follows her arguments, very old things. But what she's doing is very modern, that she as a woman can speak and have the freedom to be on TV, dress however she wants, say whatever she wants and stuff like that. She's taking it for granted. She don't understand that in today's age, some women don't have the freedom to do what she's doing. And again, it seems like she's taking it for granted. She's living in her own bubble.
Ruin marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate and the average marriage
Why is that all
8
down to
years.
the women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why feminists
you asked why I want divorce to be banned.
Yeah.
Can I finish that first? So I'm saying, you know, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman?
Why does
being
she
a
care what
virgin,
someone
so you
else
wouldn't
is
be able to
doing?
Get married.
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
That's a fair complaint. I wish I was, but we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
But I just don't think it's fair that you get to be here and you get to be paid for your views, and you're telling other women that they shouldn't be allowed to.
I think.
Hang on. Okay, if I may, at some stage. Isn't the whole point of being a feminist, though, that women are entitled to have their own views?
Absolutely. And
so she's perfectly
That's
entitled
the
to her
thing
views.
with the West in general. Like, women can decide over their own lives. Like,
you might not like them.
But I'm here to change.
Isn't she exercising her right as a... Are you a feminist?
No, I am not.
Really?
No,
people have it too good. She have it too good.
No, because I think if feminists really believed in equality, but you guys don't, I would love for you. There is an oil rig hiring.
She keeps saying this absurd. Like, what is she?
No, seriously. There is a building being built next to my
Such
building.
a bad
Don't
argument.
do it,
Like,
go do it.
she's just going in circles.
When you find the man you want to get married to, are you saying you will be with that man and whatever happens the rest of your life.
Yes, for the vows that we're supposed to live by.
How do you know you can keep them?
I mean, I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, like women.
She want to take away the choice
just because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
Ava, I've got to say, it's a little bit listening to Andrew Tate, where some of it I really don't agree with. I don't agree with the vote stuff. When I hear things like that, I think there'll be a lot of people, especially older generation women perhaps, who think, you know what, she's got a point.
Well, I mean, I believe in agency, so I think that if a woman is going to look after her children during divorce, that's absolutely fine. I also believe in your right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand...
I'd like to say, even before the 1920s,
do you know what I mean?
Women could speak openly. This idea that, like, women couldn't talk the last 500 years, there have been women throughout history...
I know, but the American state education system has failed before, and it's failing now.
There have been women throughout history that have read, written, and been very influential in society.
Okay.
So this idea like women could never do it,
do you know what I don't understand though is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because you put down a few arguments that I think are perfectly, like, you know, they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when it kind of seeps into this sort of, you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs. You know,
I mean, the question is, are they fat? Yes or no? The average American woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively overweight.
I mean, let's be honest. We now celebrate morbid obesity as some kind of body positive thing, and it is
like unhealthy
things.
So
on that point again, there's a bit of truth in
that.
But mockery is not the
answer.
answer.
We come to celebrate morbid obesity as body positive. It's nonsense.
We're not talking about morbid obese. I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee.
I
mean, like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm going to have to objectively...
And she insulted me first. They always do.
I'm going to have to objectively end the debate, but it was an interesting conversation. I think we should get you two back together as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much, Pearl. Thank you, Ava.
Oh, all right, you guys. This was interesting. I haven't seen that. I don't know. I'm not sure who this woman is, but I've seen Pearly things, some of her videos. It was a while back, though. But, yeah. I think that it's smart. People take an argument and then you mix in some truth with it, with an argument that's not really strong. Like, she just kept going in circle with the same oil jar. Like, it just didn't go anywhere. And then obviously nobody wants to get a divorce. You don't get in a relationship to split, but you know, life happens. I don't have those experiences myself, but I always stand by that people should have their own choices, because in some place in the world, people, especially women, don't have their own choices over their own lives, their own bodies, what they want to do with their life. And I feel like her, like, she's a white American woman. She's very privileged, and it seems like she just don't know that world at all. Don't have no experience with it. I have experience with it personally, so I know how it is in the world out there, and she's only speaking for, I don't know if her own experiences, she's in a bubble and just going around in circles, like I said. But yeah, it's entertainment, though. I understand you need to create attention and stuff like that, but I do believe that she stand by what she's saying. And it's based on, it have to be based on her own life and what she sees. She said that she read something, but usually when you have certain opinions, you're gonna read certain things, you know, that you believe in, that you think is right. And then also when you add religion into it, like Andrew Tate, he added religion into it. Now she adding her religion into it. Then it's a different kind of debate we're coming to, because they're always gonna lean on that at the end of the discussion. It's a smart move, though, and I think that even if you agree or disagree with someone, people have the right to speak their mind. Thankfully, we live in a society. In some places in the world, people don't have the right to speak their mind. They can get killed for it. They are getting killed for it. So yeah, just to, I will always have that in mind because it's personal to me. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. Share your opinion down below. Agree or disagree, all that good stuff. Appreciate you watching though, and hopefully I see you in another video. Bye.